Hello everyone. So in the last tutorial we have seen like if you had to having this multi containers that you have to interact or bring build those images, run the containers, set up the volume, set up the network, expose the ports, environment variables, that kind of uh, agony that it goes through, right? And remembering all of them, like there is a high chance that we end up missing some command or some property. There is a high chance, right? And going through this for each and every time, it's going to be like a nightmare, right? That's where Docker Compose comes handy, right? Now I believe like we have understood what Docker Compose is trying to solve as such. So let's quickly take a look, okay, how it will solve our problem. Okay, I haven't already written YAML, so let me remove this, right? So we are going to quickly walk you through like how we are going to build this test. So services, I'm not going to again like deep dive like what exactly is this, but just as we talk through, maybe we'll talk what the essential parts that we need through here, right? So I'm going to have three services, right? So one is the MongoDB, and the another is the I'll say backend, and the another service is the front end. Okay, front end, right? So in the Mongo database, let's quickly set up the Mongo database. So within the Mongo database, I already have an image that I need to use. The image name is Mongo, right? I just need to put this into the single quotations. I have the image. Then I need volumes because I had to persist some data, isn't it? Excellency hyphen movies. It's going to be slash data slash TB. That's the path of it. Now with volumes, one catch here is we might have to, not we might, we'll have to mention this named volume, which is excellency hyphen movies. Okay. Then for the MongoDB, I think this is done. Then we are left with network. Once I create the network, so the network, I believe, and you know what? For the network, ideally, the good part is um, we don't have to specify the network, because whenever this is the beauty of the Docker Compose again, right? The networks, whatever the services that are mentioned in this compose file, it's going to associate all of those services to the same network, right? It will be a default network that gets added, but there's no harm in mentioning this. It's not going to break anything, but it's just like from our readability perspective, we know like, okay, this got added to this particular network. If you don't specify, Docker itself is going to create a network and tag all the services, your Mongo service, your backend service, and front end service to the same network, right? uh, all right, then once we have it at the network, I think we are good with the database service. Then we'll quickly take a look at what is on the backend. For the backend, I think we'll need to build the image, isn't it? Unlike like the database one. Oh, sorry, let me take a look here. Right. So if you take a look here, it's the MongoDB is the image, right? That we are already using. We are not building any image out of it. We are trying to use the existing image. But for a backend or the front end application, you'll have to build the image. So where is my this image existing? So if we look at this right here in this structure, wherever my YAML file is there, within this YAML file in the current directory, there is this movies backend, right? So that's the image that I have to, and that's where your Docker file lives through, right? So I just need to mention the location of this Docker file. So how do I do that? Is so here I'll just mention from the current folder, go into this movies backend, and that's where you will find the Docker file. Then I'll expose the ports. So the ports that I need to expose is for this container, it's 80,000, 80,000, right? I don't need any other port exposed. And then I need to specify the networks. For the networks as well, I'll just say excellency. It's the same network that they have to be added. And even for the networks, right, we have to specify the network name for the Docker Compose to recognize it. So I'm going to specify this. Here you go. So this is done. So the backend is done. Now I think we need the environment for this, isn't it? Because environment, I think I need two of them. MongoDB underscore host. Now what is this MongoDB host is going to be? This is going to be this particular name, right? MongoDB. I think the value here is this one. Then MongoDB underscore port is equals to 27017. Right? Oops, sorry, 27017. Okay, so with this environments is done. You know what? We can also add something called as depends on, which ensures that only when this MongoDB is completed, is successfully started, only then you can start this container, right? Okay, that's it for your backend layer. Then coming to the front end, I think front end is also going to have a build, because we have to build this again. In this case also it's going to be .movies front end. That's where my Docker file is sitting, right? And for this I need to expose the ports. So I'll say, oops, no, sorry, 3000 colon 3000, right? And once the ports are done, I think I'll need the networks. So in the networks, it's going to be I'll just copy and paste it from here. It's the name of the work, right? I think that's it. Here comes our Docker Compose file, right? So basically what Docker Compose has done is it has accumulated all our, if you remember, right? So in the previous example, right, we had to run all these commands in order to run through, or set up our images and the containers, right? So now what we have done is it has made our job a little easier, right? All these commands have been now brought into one single file. That's what the orchestration that we talked about. And remember, Docker Compose is good for multi-containers in a same host. This is not meant for multi-containers to run on multiple hosts. Docker Compose does not manage that. That's not the intent of, it's not used for managing it on the different hosts, right? Docker Compose is best for managing the multi-containers on the same host. All right. So with this being set up, the Docker Compose been set up. Now we'll see how to run this. So we'll quickly go here. I'll just, oops, sorry, I'll just duplicate this tab, right? So I'm in this working directory. So let's delete all of these containers, right? So Docker PS, sorry, Docker container prune -a. Yes. Okay, I believe like I need to stop them. So let me quickly stop them. Docker stop this container. Okay, we'll quickly wait for these containers to stop and we'll come back in a minute. Okay, so, okay, so now I'm good to go with deleting them. Let's see if I have anything else running. Okay, good. So coming to the Docker images, I think I'm fine with the images that are there. Now to bring up, to use this Docker Compose, all that easiest thing that we can do is Docker Compose and just say up, and I'll run this in a detached mode, right? So let's see what happens. So I see, like, this is what it has done. It has said build, created. It has taken care of all the necessary operations, right? Now we will quickly go and see the container has started, right? So let me close this window and I'll open this. It's 3000. So if you see here, it's all fresh. So let's go ahead and add some data. Check. I'll just print in something. Don't like that. Save changes. The movie is added. I can see it here, right? So in short, whatever your Docker run commands that we were doing, running through this all pain, right? That has come to our rescue in the form of Docker Compose. So all that this is like, orchestrate all your services into one single file, and it takes care of starting and stopping the services. So if you want to, once you're done, if you want to stop the services, right, all that we have to do is we'll say docker hyphen compose and bring it down. That's it. So your containers are going to be stopped and removed. And one another catch here is with the Docker Compose, you don't have to add this hyphen rm remove, because by default that's its nature. It will be coming in that detached mode. Sorry, it will remove the containers. So if you see here, docker ps hyphen a, I don't have anything running. So Docker Compose has taken care of that, right? So that's what is Docker Compose for you. All right. Thanks for watching this. We'll meet again in the next tutorial.